Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you've had a great, perfect day. If you are in the Zoom room, please take a second to say hello. Find your chat button first. Whether you're on your phone or your computer, go ahead and find your chat button and then click where it says all panelists. And then choose the option that says all panelists and attendees, and then say, hello. Let me know if you had a perfect day today. Hey, Becky from Ohio, and Deb from Virginia, and Sandy. Sandy, I thought it was really sweet that your friend introduced you in the new member fast track group. That was so nice. And Nicole, hey, Nicole, thank you for being back. And Kelly and Sunny and Deborah, perfect so far. Yay, Deborah, good job. And Kelly from Ohio, good, Sandy. Hey, Carla and Karen from St. Simon's, and Sue, Gettysburg. Perfect day. Hello from Cartersville. Angela, welcome. So glad you're all here. Hey, Marla on Facebook. Oh, good. I'm glad your book came in today. So I'm having my son read it, and he's made it through 50 pages today. So it's such a great book. We're talking about a book that I've just read called 10 Seconds of Insane Courage. It's awesome. Hey, Angie, glad you're here from Marietta, Georgia. I was in Marietta today, downtown Marietta, over at the Brickyard for a luncheon with Congressman Barry Loudermilk. So that was really nice. Hey, Kim from Minnesota. Glad that you're here. We got Cindy from Alpharetta, and Deborah's Collegedale, Tennessee. Nicole says, I used to live in York. Glad you're here. So there's a hello to Sue there. I love it when y'all make these connections on our webinars. It's a great way to have virtual support and friends. And hey, Nancy from Sayville, New York, welcome. And then Renita from Philadelphia, Mississippi. Glad you're here. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Sheila from Ella J, glad you're back tonight. That's awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get started. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. It's a different website, but in lap 2 of Fast Track, the bottom to the last task is this website. So you'll be able to access it there anytime you want to. Okay, so it'll be in lap 2. It's the bottom task. Awesome. Yeah, Tabitha has told everybody about it. So I'm so happy about that. Good. So the way that I'm going to do tonight is I am going to go over cooking oils and fats, and I'm going to go over condiments. And the cooking oils and fats is basically a recap from last night. And then the condiments, we didn't go over last night. So you're going to hear that for the first time tonight. Kelly says, where do we find the lap area on the website? I'll show you. Let me show you real quick. If you go to Shibboleth website, if you're on your computer, you simply click dashboard at the top. When you click dashboard, Fast Track should be right there. If it's not pulling up to Fast Track, if it's pulling up to the instructor page, you just simply click on Fast Track. Hey, Steve. And then, so dashboard, Fast Track, okay? And then if you're on your phone, there's a little black circle in the top left-hand corner of your screen. If you touch there, then click dashboard, you'll be able to see Fast Track. So that's where you find the Fast Track. So like right here, if I clicked on lap 2, do you see where it says simple food combining website link? That's what I'm using tonight. So you'll be able to access this anytime. Hey, Diane, a week of WOW challenges. Diane, did I hear correctly? Are you coming to Georgia on Friday for the mix and mingle? Because from Columbus, Mississippi to Kennesaw, Georgia, that's a long way. And I want to make sure I heard that correctly, because that's awesome and cool. And I hope you are. I'll be there. It'll be fun. I can't wait to meet you. Okay, so we're going to go over cooking oils as a recap and condiments. And then after that, I'm not going to keep going over those in each of these rows because it's the same thing. But every time I come to a new category, I'm going to read them. The reason I read them, even though I'm going to read them out loud. because you could read them, is it does start to help to hear these things. And when you are doing multiple things, you're reading, you're listening, you're hearing, all of it starts to come together. Okay. Now, if you happen to have made a little list, category 1 through 7, anything that you hear me read tonight that you like that goes in one of the categories, write it on your list. Awesome, Diane. That's going to be so awesome. Are you coming to class on Saturday morning too? Because guess who's going to be there? Sasha Martin, the CEO of Uncommon Paths, doing business as Shibboleth, is going to be at class on Saturday. She'll be there from 10 to 12, and she would love to get her picture made with everybody. Okay. So if you happen to live near Kennesaw, you need to get registered for class because it'll be full. So go ahead and get registered. Yes. Saturday morning, we have class at 10. So please go ahead and go to the events page and go ahead and register for that. Okay. Saturday's class, Deb, we don't typically record those. Okay, so let's go over cooking oils. Cooking oils and fats, category 1. First of all, the amount that you shouldn't go over is 1 tablespoon. Now you can use less than that, but you don't want to go more than 1 tablespoon. There's about 130 calories per tablespoon, okay? But remember, MCT oil, if you're using that, burns up very quickly. And if you are using that in a pot or a pan or something like that, please cook on low to medium heat, otherwise it will set off your smoke detector. But the very first thing that we're going to suggest that you'll use is 100% MCT oil. And then you could use coconut oil. Coconut oil is 66% MCTs, but it's not 100%. And then ghee butter, it's just butter. It's just been clarified, and it's about 40% MCTs, okay? And then you can use 0-calorie cooking spray. Now, here's the way I decide to use this. If I am cooking a lean protein, whether it's from category 1 or either it's a shellfish lean protein, I'll use the MCT oil. Or if it's the shellfish stuff, I'll use ghee butter. But if I am cooking a protein plus fat, it's already got good fats in it, so I don't add more fats to it. I use the 0-calorie cooking spray, okay? So MCT oil is a medium chain triglyceride. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. That is good news. So the oils that you were typically using before you found out about this one often were olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Those are long chain triglycerides, and they have a great propensity to be stored on your body as fat, and we don't want that to happen. So you're not going to find that listed for a perfect day. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about condiments. Now, there are a lot of condiments listed in the food library, but not every condiment in the whole wide world that you can use is going to be listed in the food library. All right. So we just tell you a rule about them. So you can always look in the food library and see if it's listed, but the rule is the 5, 2, and few rule. 5, 2, and few. This is a sprinkling. Okay, so what that means is you don't want to have more than 5 sugars per serving, or and more than 2 grams of fat per serving. And then total condiments on a meal, you don't want more than 50 calories. Okay, so let's say that you go into the store and you want to pick up a jar and see if it's something that you could purchase and use as a condiment. You're just going to pick it up. You're going to have a look at it. You're going to see what's the sugar content. 5 grams of sugar or less and 2 grams of fat or less. If it's got that, then you're good to go. Just don't use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. Now, how are you going to remember those numbers? The word sugar has 5 letters. So there's a good way to look at that. I went into the store one time to buy some Classico traditional pizza sauce, and they didn't have it. But they had 6 other types of pizza sauces. I turned all the pizza sauces around. I could have stood there and typed in the name on my app, but then I would have not, it just may not be in there. That's just not the smartest way to look up an item on condiment on the food library is just really to look up that in the store, just use your rule. So I flipped them all around so I could see the nutrition label, and then I scanned the sugars. And if it had more than 5 grams, I turned it around. It doesn't even matter what the fat grams are on it because it's out of the running. It had more than 5 sugars. And then I looked at the fat content. If it had more than 2 grams of fat, I turned it around. Out of those 6 jars of pizza sauce that were on the shelf, 2 worked, and I just made a decision and bought one. And then I just don't want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. Can you have more than one condiment on a meal? Yes. So let's say that you make yourself an approved 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty, and you want some cheese, some mustard, and some ketchup. Well, there's some Borden fat-free cheese is approved, and it's about 30 calories. Most mustard is free, is 0 calories, so you could use that. And then you would still have 20 calories worth of ketchup that you could use, okay? And so you could do that. So you can have multiple condiments on a meal, which would be great. All right. Hey, Odessa, glad you're here. So there's the oils as a reminder, and that's how you can pick condiments. Here's the great thing about condiments. Condiments, what does that mean, Steve? I don't know what that means. So condiments, when you're doing condiments, you can use any 0-calorie condiments. You can use 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. So all of those are approved. And there's a lot of other approved ones listed in the food library, but the rule is important just so that you have that confidence when you're in the store just to pick something up, look, and know if you could use it as a condiment. The great thing about condiments is you could take chicken breast and use the right barbecue sauce and have barbecue chicken. You can take chicken breast and have Italian chicken. You can take chicken breast and have it be Mexican, just with seasonings, okay? So that's the really nice thing about being able to use condiments. All right, so now that I've gone over those, I'm not going to continue to go over them, but they are going to be seen in some of these rows that we go over. But what we're going to look at now is category 1, lean protein. 2 to 8 ounces. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I have never measured any of this food. I use my 2-hand rule, put it underneath my hands, and that's it. So if it fits here, I eat it. Okay, I've never really measured. But if you're a measurer, then there's your measurements, 2 to 8 ounces. Okay, guys can go up to 8. Ladies should really stick around 6 if you're wanting to know. And so, but I just use my hand measurement. All right, egg whites, fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, and 96% lean ground meat. Now, first of all, these are very, very small lists, very small lists. Lamb is a category 4. Protein plus fat. So this is a small little list, but see in the beginning, you don't need a massive amount of food to choose from. You just need a little bit just to get you started, get everything rolling, and then you can branch out, okay? So let me go over a few of these things. 96% lean ground meat. That could be beef, chicken, turkey, any of those things. Low fat and fat-free cottage cheese are here, but full fat cottage cheese is available. It's just on the protein plus fat. And the reason that says boar's head is because we just know that boar's head is a very lean deli meat, but there's a lot of other approved deli meat. And then if you get a pork tenderloin or really anything and you see visible fat on it and it's a lean protein, go ahead and trim that off because you are using these lean proteins to keep you safe, all right, when you're eating an energy carb. Okay, so this right here, if you were with me last night, there were 5 of the 7 categories of food that I said you could eat by itself. You don't even need to combine it. Category 1 is one of those. If you wrote that down last night, please type that in for me. Let's see, Carla, can you please tell me where to see this food list on the website? Yes, it's in lap 2. Lap 2 of Fast Track. So Carla, if you click on dashboard up here at the top, you'll be in Fast Track. Should be. If you're not, click that. Lap 2, and then it's right here. Simple food combining website link. Okay, so category 1, if somebody wants to type in all 5, I would love it. But category 1 can be eaten by itself. You can cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have an excellent fat-burning meal. Now let's scroll down. We have a new category here. Category 2, fibrous carbs, half a cup up to 1 cup. Now in weight loss mode, it's best to do just half a cup. Let's see, Nicole, lean protein, fibrous carb, protein plus fat, superfood, and shellfish can be eaten alone. Awesome, Nicole. Thank you. That's right. And Kelly, you got the numbers. That's right, Kelly. Awesome. Good. So category 2, it's half a cup is best in weight loss. You can go up to cup in maintenance, but let's stick with the less in weight loss. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra. Now, Dawn, I'm wondering if you just mishit that number right in the center. Well, no, we don't eat 3s and 5s by themselves, Dawn. So you need to remove the 3 and the 5, but add a 4 and a 7, okay? That's right, Diane. Awesome, awesome. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles, green beans. There's some fibrous carbs. There's a lot more. Butternut squash. Guess what I use butternut squash for? You're welcome, Dawn. You know what I use butternut squash for? A French fry void replacement. It's very good. So any of these will work as a category 2. There's also category 2 breads, which is a hallelujah moment for most people. We're going to go over that in just a minute, but you don't have to eat breads. Less bread is best, but we still have them. We don't leave out any macronutrients or any foods. We just tell you which ones are best to eat. All right. So we are doing food combining right here. This is the basics of food combining. Picking something from category 1. Y'all look right now. What would you pick from category 1 and what would you pick from category 2 and eat it together? Can y'all give me some examples? What would you eat together from category 1 and category 2? Okay, Nicole says she'd pick chicken breast and green beans. You are going to be very good friends with Sherry Ditto. Sherry Ditto probably ate chicken breast and green beans for a week. Let's see, Sandy, I did chicken and broccoli for supper tonight. Awesome. Cod and broccoli, turkey and cucumbers, London broil and green beans. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, these are great, simple, very simple. If you wanted to make this the fastest fat burning combination, what oil would you cook this food up in? Yes, Diane, chicken and broccoli. Chicken and broccoli and all of these things are exercise on a plate. Exercise on a plate. That's right. Kelly and Nicole, MCT oil. So if you want these foods that you can cook up in an oil and make it be the fastest fat burning combination, you're going to pick MCT oil. Thank you, Sheila, too. Awesome. So what this row is saying, awesome, Dawn, is saying you can take something from category 1, something from category 2, cook it up in the appropriate oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and you'll have an excellent fat burning meal. Now, a question that I get asked a lot is this: can I have more than one category 2 in a meal? So let's say you want chicken breast here and you want broccoli and cauliflower there. Yes, you can do that. Your broccoli and cauliflower still just need to fit underneath the one hand, but you can do that. All right, let's come down here. We have a new category, category 7, shellfish, which is really just a what? Y'all tell me. Shellfish is really just a Lean protein. That's right, Sandy, Nicole, Sheila. Awesome. Yes, it's really just a lean protein. It just got pulled off of that other category just to give it its own category because biblical reasons and medical reasons, some people don't want to eat it. Hey, Jill, lean protein. That's awesome. Okay, 2 to 8 ounces, just like the other lean protein. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. Those are just a small little list there. And you can pick the right oil, doctor it up in the right condiments. A lot of time, this is when ghee butter gets used. Because if you're making a shrimp scampi, or if you want to dip some crab legs or lobster tail, you get some ghee butter, okay? Let's see. Diane says her lunch today was chicken taquito and oven fried okra. Made my own approved breadcrumbs. Both recipes are in the library. Awesome. That sounds delicious. Thank you for sharing that. And so shellfish can be eaten by itself. I would say after, Nicole. I would say after because you're cooking out a lot of water and stuff before. I would say after. But let me just tell you, you don't even have to worry about it. Just put it underneath your hand and eat it. Okay? So don't even have to worry about it. All right. So now we've just come down again and we can put something from category 7 with something from category 2, cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have an excellent fat burning meal. And this is still a lean protein because 7 is just really a lean protein with a fibrous carb, cooked up in MCT oil, doctored up with the right condiments. Okay, we are coming to a brand new category. Now I'm going to make a little distinction. Let's look at some things. Do you see how these have a flame and a plus sign? That means those are excellent for fat burning. Excellent. We come down here, we have a red plus. This is still great for fat burning. Those other ones just are a little bit more excellent for fat burning. Okay, so that's why you've made the difference in the little plus sign there. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here. And then, so that's category 4, protein plus fat. It's 2 to 6 ounces here. Now, remember, the other one's above. Sorry, I had a little brain delay. 2 to 8 ounces was above. The reason that this one is a little bit fewer in the ounces is because 1 gram of protein has 4 calories and 1 gram of fat has 9. So you get a little bit more calories here. So you bump back the ounces just a smidge there. But let me just tell you, I have never measured this. I just put it underneath my hand and eat it. But it did help me at restaurants when people would say, what size steak do you want? Do you want a 6 ounce and 8 ounce or whatever? I'm like, oh, 6. I don't want more than 6. Okay. But if the ladies are really wanting to watch it and be super careful, then you wouldn't do more than 4. But I just put it underneath my hand and eat it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Whole eggs, steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa, as long as no more than 50% of the calories come from fat. All right. So let me go over some of these things. 93% lean up to 95.9% lean is approved as a category 4. If you are buying a ground meat product, whether it is beef, chicken, turkey, and it is less than 93% lean, it is not approved for a perfect day. So in the ground meat arena, if it's less than 93%, it's not approved for a perfect day because really they've just taken a whole bunch of fat and added some little bit of meat to it. It's not as lean as they make it sound. Okay. And then you can actually eat category 4 protein plus fat by itself. Let's say that you just want to have some whole eggs for breakfast one morning. You can do that. But optimally, you'd put it with a category 2. Okay. So that's why it's sitting here with a category 2. Yeah, Nicole says, put it under your hand and eat it. Love it. Yeah, exactly. So category 4 with a category 2. And then look, there's some condiments listed. But what column is no longer there? It was right before the condiments on all the ones above, but it's no longer there. That's right, Nicole. The oils, they're not there. Why? You already have fat here. You don't need to add more fat to it. So this is where I would use 0-calorie cooking spray or water or something like that to cook it. I wouldn't add more oils to something that already has fat in it. Okay, now we have come to superfood. Now, who was paying attention last night? Superfood has all four what in it? All four what? And bonus points if you tell me what the four whats are. It has all four macro. Good job, Nicole. Yeah, macro. Yeah, that's okay. And what are those macronutrients? Water, protein, fat, and carbs. Awesome, Sheila. That's wonderful. Good. And Nicole, micronutrients are also very important. Those are vitamins, minerals, and all kinds of stuff like that. Kelly, macros, fats, water, carbs, protein. Yes, that's awesome. Okay. So a superfood has all four: water, protein, fat, and carbs. So it can be eaten by itself, which is there. Pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans. Now, do you see where this says a cup to a cup and a half? That's if you're eating it by itself. If you are going to use one of the approved combinations, let's say that you're going to eat category 6 with chicken breast, or you're going to eat category 6 with I didn't mean just chicken breast. You're going to eat category 6 with a lean protein. Or let's say you're going to eat category 6 with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. You're not going to be able to eat a cup to a cup and a half of it, okay, by itself. So this is if you're eating it by itself. But you wouldn't be able to eat that much if it was combined. I mean, peanut butter, nuts and seeds. This is where you find all of those things. And look, let me just tell you this one random thing. Wendy's chili. Wendy's chili is right here, a category 6 superfood. So you can eat superfood by itself, doctor it up with the right condiments. And you'll also notice that the oils are not right here. Okay. So you don't need to necessarily add more oils to that. Now, category 6 superfood can also be eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. This is where Travis, our founder, says you get your greens and beans. Get your greens and beans from this. But you know what I like to explain that's right here? Peanut butter and jelly. This is where you find a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. How is that? Approved peanut butter is a category 6 superfood. And although we don't have it listed right here, I'm going to go over some in just a minute. We have over 60 approved category 2 fibrous carb breads. Now, you might be thinking, how does a bread find its way into the fibrous carb category? It's got enough fiber in it that that it breaks down in your body more like a green bean. And so that's how your body sees it. And so this is where your bread is. And then your condiments, you would just use a sugar-free jelly. Now there's also some low sugar jelly, and there's a stevia sweetened good jam. But this is where you find peanut butter and jelly. And I have a testimony to share with you about peanut butter and jelly. Nikki Kyle, one of our awesome and fabulous members, has lost 93 pounds, and she eats a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. She was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before Shibboleth, but they weren't fat burning PB&Js. They were fat storing PB&Js. So she switched that and the other things, obviously, that she was eating, but she eats one of these every day and has lost 93 pounds and has kept it off for over 2 years. Okay, Carla, question about category 4. Oh, yeah. Tonight I ate the meal my husband made for me. It was eggs. Okay, I'm assuming whole eggs. Category 4. Air fried okra. Category 2. Pork bacon. Okay, so pork bacon. Was it an approved pork bacon? Okay. The only other thing I had today was bone broth after 20 hours after fasting 20 hours. Wow, congrats on that. Did my breakfast meal blow my day? So the eggs, the air fried okra, and the pork bacon was breakfast. But I mean, I don't know. I would say it did not blow your day. It did not blow your day. I would want to make sure that the pork bacon that you buy from now on is an approved one. Okay. So how do you know if it's approved? You do not want more than 50% of the calories to be coming from fat. And I don't usually tell that tonight because we've got the food library, and I really like for people to start going to the food library. But when it comes to meat, if no more than 50% of the calories are coming from fat, you can call it a protein plus fat. No, I think you're fine, Carla. You're fine. I would just make sure it was approved from now on. Good, Gloria. Let's see, Diane. Uh-oh, my power went out. Okay, I hope that you can switch to Facebook real quick. All right, so now we're going to scroll down again, and we've got category 3. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, the reason I said that is because I want you to get that ding, 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 ding in your head. Because category 3 energy carbs must be combined properly. If you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Okay, so 1/4 cup up to 1/2 cup. When you are in weight loss mode, you're welcome. When I searched food library, I only saw one bacon listed in food library. I love breakfast for dinner. Yeah, just there. It's usually that center cut bacon from Kroger is approved as a regular pork bacon. But if you don't have a Kroger near you, look and make sure it doesn't have more than 50% of the calories from fat. But you're still okay with that meal today. But just try to make sure in the future that you're for sure using an approved one. You're welcome. Okay, Sheila, perfect pairing. Is it always 1, 2, 3? No. See, a perfect pairing doesn't follow the rules. Okay, you know how when you learn to read and your teacher says, this word says this word says this, but this word looks like it's going to follow the rules of that other one, but it doesn't. A perfect pairing is something that doesn't follow the regular formulas, but Travis has determined that it would still work if you did it together. Okay, so that's what a perfect pairing is. And 1, 2, 3 is just a proper formula. So a perfect pairing is something that doesn't follow a perfect formula, but Travis still says that it would work. So that's what that is, Sheila. So 1, 2, 3 is just a proper combo. Okay. A perfect pairing is something like eating egg whites with an apple. That's not an approved combination. But egg whites and apple will work. Egg whites and grapefruit would work. Egg whites and oranges would work. That's a perfect pairing because it doesn't follow the rules, but he's determined that if you eat these certain things together, they'll work. And that's why he calls those a perfect pairing. But if it's a proper combo, you just do a proper combo and call it that. Okay. All potatoes are here. Oatmeal, steel cut oats, the Quaker fiber and protein. You're welcome, Sheila. Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal, long grain brown rice. White rice is not approved on a perfect day. Most lighter colored beans, peas, tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat pasta, and whole grain pasta. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of these things. Whole wheat pasta and whole grain pasta. We are going to talk about pasta tomorrow night when we go over the food library. But I want you to know there's better pastas for you to use than the whole wheat and whole grain pasta. Fiber Gourmet. We sell that in our little store. It's a category 2 pasta that looks and tastes exactly like all the other pastas, but it's a category 2. All right. So if you're writing notes, you want to get yourself some of that Fiber Gourmet pasta. But carrots, once carrots are cooked, they are a category 3 energy carb. All right. And you need to eat it as such. Tomato and onion. This is how I like to explain those. If you are having a smidge, let's say you have just a smidge on a salad, or you're having a little thin slice on a hamburger or a chicken breast, and you just want that on top, both the tomato and onion. If it's a smidge or a thin slice, you could call that a condiment. But if it's enough tomato and onion to fit into a quarter cup, you need to go ahead and call that an energy carb so that you make sure that you put it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb to keep you safe, okay? All peas are here. Now let's give an example. This is an example here. Let's say that you want to have some black-eyed peas. The black-eyed peas are an energy carb. When you eat them, your blood sugar is going to elevate. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. Now that you know I need to be eating in a way that controls insulin, I must eat this with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Then you're going to pick something from category 1 and something from category 2. So let's say that you've got a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty, you've got some green beans, and you've got some black-eyed peas. So the black-eyed peas elevated your blood sugar. Your pancreas secreted insulin. The protein in the hamburger patty and the fiber in the green beans neutralized the insulin release that came out because of the black-eyed peas. You used food as medicine, okay? This is awesome news. You didn't overeat the black-eyed peas, so your food that you ate with it was able to deal with it, so you didn't have dose after dose after dose of insulin come out because you didn't overeat the black-eyed peas, all right? So that's a proper combo. And good, Carla. Awesome. Now, what you're not going to see right here is you're not going to see the oils listed here. If you were to eat oils and fats with this, the insulin that came out because of the black-eyed peas would collect that fat. So you're not going to see any fat in this meal because it would collect it. And you just don't eat things that are going to collect it. That's that. Category 5, fruit. Now, I'm not going to read all the fruit because fruit's fruit, but I am going to read the top 4. Berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit. Those are the lowest on the glycemic index, so they have the lowest amount of sugars in them. Okay, so in that order, berries, apples, oranges, grapefruit. And it may not be that order anyway, but those are the top 4. So let's say that you want to have a medium orange for lunch. You're going to put that in your lunch. You're going to take your lunch, go take an orange. Maybe you make yourself, maybe you get some boar's head turkey breast, and it's not listed here, but maybe you get an Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla. I'm going to jump over here to condiments. Maybe you get the Laughing Cow cheese wedge. Maybe you then take the everything bagel seasoning and sprinkle a little bit of that on that Laughing Cow cheese wedge. Lay that turkey meat in there. You could even add a little bit of spinach or other lettuce if you want to in the wrap. Roll that up. You have a beautiful wrap and you have an orange. And that's a category 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so that's how you make a little wrap with that. Okay, Sandy, is it okay during fast track to put a few berries and yogurt at breakfast? Okay, so you can. So here's the thing, Sandy. If the berries are more than just a few, if it's more than just a few, you would also want to maybe put some hemp flakes in there too, because hemp flakes, that's a real popular thing. People they'll get Oikos Triple Zero or Greek plain yogurt, and they'll get some hemp flakes, sprinkle that in there, and you can actually have quite a few berries if you do all of that with it. But if you eat just a few, I'm talking like just a few, then that would be called a condiment, and you could do that, Sandy. Okay, now in this one right here, in this combo right here, you are not going to use the oils here either. Okay, just because the fructose in these fruits, they elevate your blood sugar, your pancreas secretes insulin. So even though fruit has antioxidants in there, they've got all these beautiful phyto and micronutrients in there, if we are trying to access and burn off stored energy, which is fat, if we're needing to lose weight and burn that off, then you got to do fruit right in weight loss mode. I know a lot of places will just tell you you can eat all the fruit that you want. No, that does not work because it's fructose, it elevates your blood sugar, and your pancreas secretes insulin. If you eat fat with that, it will be stored. Okay, so there's more combos than that. Later in the week, we're going to be looking at an advanced combination chart. But this is why it is so important for during this week for you to be making your favorites lists, your favorite lean proteins, your favorite fibrous carbs, your favorite energy carbs, your favorite protein plus fat, your favorite fruit, your favorite superfood, your favorite shellfish. You need lists of those things so that when you look at a combination chart, you take your eyes and you go pick something from there, something from there, something from there. And that's kind of like simple meals, right? But in these combos, you find nachos, you find spaghetti, you find all the things that we've always liked. You just want to find the right product to make those things. Okay, so let's have a look down here at just some other random products that you're going to want to know about. Category 2, breads. Amen. Less is best, though, and no more than 100 calories of bread in a meal. And just to give you a little tip from me, it is best if you're going to have breads to have it at breakfast or at lunch for the best results on the scale the next morning. But you don't have to, and it's okay. But the reason I say that is because I don't like people to do really, really awesome, eat some bread at night, and then on the scale the next morning, it just didn't quite show them what they wanted to see, and they get frustrated. I don't want that to happen. You're still efficiently burning fat, even if the scale doesn't say it, because 2 to 3 grams of water will attach itself to 1 gram of carb and it'll weigh something. And it's not that you're not efficiently burning fat, it's just that there's something in there that's weighing something and it's masking or hiding what's happening on the scale. So this is why you don't trust the scale necessarily daily. All right. Now I use it in maintenance to just make sure I'm on track. I kind of get on there and just see. But it also lets you know, ooh, up a pound, and that was a perfect day. What did I do? It makes you go back and kind of look just so that you can have some analysis there. But La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortillas work fine. Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortillas. That's what I use. Healthy Life bread. I think that's called Lewis, is on the bag. Bran Crisp bread, which is actually not a bread. I don't know why they call it a bread. It's a cracker, in my opinion. So they've got pumpkin seed, they've got sunflower seed and other things. Okay, Deborah, see you tomorrow. Glad you were with us. Healthy Life hot dog buns. Look, there's a category 2 hot dog bun. All right. Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. I'm going to give you a tip about that. I just eat it open faced. I don't even eat the whole muffin. It made me too full because they're pretty dense. So I just eat an open faced sandwich with that. Hey, Reba, glad you're here. And then approved sweeteners. Any 0-calorie sweetener works fine. Some suggestions: stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol, any of that works fine. Now, if you're a person that says, I don't like artificial sweeteners, well, don't use them. Okay, approved beverages as needed. Water. You've got to get in at least 64 ounces of water every single day, at least 64, shooting for a gallon. If you are shooting for a gallon, your body is going to be more mentally and physically satisfied, and you will be able to make it easier from breakfast to lunch, lunch to dinner, and dinner to bedtime without freebies, extras, and snacks, okay? Because those aren't the best for weight loss if you can keep them out of your intake for the day. Any 0-calorie beverage, you can drink it. It just doesn't take the place of your water. So what I like to do is when I go out to lunch or an event, I'll have unsweet tea or whatever else I want to work there that works. That's 0-calorie. And there's unsweet tea listed. But at home, I'm drinking water. So coffee, you can have coffee with up to 15 calories of approved sweetener. You just don't want to go more than 15 calories of approved sweetener. Cheese. Any fat-free cheese works fine as a condiment. It also can work as a category 1 lean protein. Guess what that means? You can make grilled cheese. If you take a category 2 bread with a category 1, we're talking about them condiments here, but I'm telling you, they're also lean proteins, and you put that in that bread and grill it up. I use that. I can't believe it's not butter spray, and I grill it up. Got a grilled cheese. This Cabot extra light cheese right here, that is a protein plus fat. Let's see. That should work, Reba. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me talk about these lean protein milks. It's very important to understand these milks. We can use fat-free Fairlife milk, or if you have a Kroger near you, Kroger Carbmaster milk. Now, the reason I like the Kroger Carbmaster milk is because they have original flavor, but they've also got vanilla and chocolate, and I like them both. And then they've got sometimes I'll have fat-free Fairlife in the fridge, but I even use chocolate milk on the Advanced Health Systems Cinnamon Crisp cereal. I really like it. If these are both category 1 lean proteins, so they're in a category, but they're also kind of in a milk category because that's a hot topic. Like, what milks can we have? So if you're using it as part of a proper combination, you can use up to 8 ounces as a lean protein. Let me give you an example. If I come right back up here to category 3 energy carb, I happen to know that this Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal is actually a category 2 and 3. But think about this. Category 2 and 3 by itself is not a proper combination. So how could you eat this Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal? By itself? No, you wouldn't eat it by itself. You could add a cup of this type of milk and you would have a proper combination. Okay, so that's another fun way to look at that. And then I don't know about oat milk, Nicole. We'll have to look that up. Let's see. Sue, how about fat-free half and half? I don't know. I'll look it up in just a second. Y'all can hang with me and I'll look it up. I don't drink coffee. So I don't know about some of these things, and we can just look them up. Y'all see what I do when I'm curious about something. So these milks are fine. Now let's say that you're just going out for the day and you just need something quick. You could do up to 16 ounces of fat-free Fairlife or Kroger Carbmaster milk and just call it a meal. That works fine too. And then there are some things in the food library that use a milk, and it's called a perfect pairing because, for example, a cereal with one of these milks would be a perfect pairing. How many of you like a little bit of chicken tenders that are kind of like fried, or maybe you want to fry up some okra or something like that? Anybody like that kind of stuff? I know I do. Anybody like cornbread, biscuits, pancakes? Okay, this little area right here is what you're going to be looking for to make those things. So coconut flour, carb quick flour, Bob's TVP. If you happen to be vegetarian, this is what you could use to make a meatloaf. Even the meat lovers like this meatloaf, and almond flour. So all of those things work. And there's a recipe in the food library called Perfect Cornbread, which is great. And I make these little cheddar garlic biscuits out of Carb Quick, and they are a category 2 fibrous carb. Imagine I make myself a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty and eat 2 little cheddar garlic biscuits next to it. That does not look like a fat burning meal, but it is. Now, y'all know what Bisquick is, okay? Bisquick is a flour a baking mix. Carb Quick is what we're going to use. Now notice there's no CK at the end. So if you're looking it up in the food library, it's not with a CK. It is Yummy Odessa. Carb Quick. Now let me tell you this. When you buy Carb Quick, which by the way, if you go to our little store and you type in recipe starter kit, you would be getting 3 things. You'd be getting Carb Quick, MCT oil, and ghee butter, because those are the things that if you just go ahead and get them and have them sitting in your pantry or your cabinet or wherever you keep those things, when you're looking in the food library and you're looking at a recipe that you like and you go, man, I could make that if I just had the Carb Quick, or I could make that if I just had, something. So that gives you a recipe starter kit. So I would go ahead and grab that. But when you get that Carb Quick box, awesome, Nicole. When you get that Carb Quick box, don't make the recipes that are on the box. There's your tip, Nicole. We're not going to use the recipes that are on the box because Carb Quick did not take into account the Shibboleth approved recipes, or I mean, in our rules. They didn't take into account our rules. But if you go into the food library, I'm glad she did. That's awesome. When you go into the food library and you search Carb Quick, then you scroll down in the listing, you have 6 pages of recipes that include Carb Quick. Okay, that's some amazing stuff. So you want to get some of that on hand. Okay, cereals. Now, we have cereals in what we call phase 1 and phase 2. I just mentioned phase 2. All of a sudden, your mind probably went, how do I get to phase 2? Well, first of all, I don't want you to worry about it because phase 1 is the foundation of the lifestyle and you should never be out of phase 1. I mean, you can look at those other phases, but phase 1 is the foundation, all right? You always want to be in phase 1. Phase 2 does not necessarily mean that you've gone to higher quality foods. Fiber gourmet. Angelia, fiber gourmet. So phase 2 does not necessarily mean that you've gone to higher quality foods. Phase 2 cereals opens up Captain Crunch and Reese Puffs. So you've got to know I didn't go to a higher quality food with that. Phase 2 also has some soups listed and some frozen meals. Okay. So these aren't things that are better. Okay. It's just more variety. That's the way you need to think about phase 2. It's just more variety. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better for weight loss or anything like that. And there's no like, I need to advance into phase 2. There's nothing like that. It's just more variety, kind of from the inner aisles of the grocery store. Okay. But let's look at these cereals. Kashi Go Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal, and High Low Nutritious Living. Those are all some phase 1 cereals. Let's see. Reba says, I had fish tonight with coconut flour and dill. So good. Yum. That sounds great, Reba. I love it. Okay. I'm going to pop her over into the food library on talking about cereals. But I want to mention these restaurants right here. If you were to click on any of these things, it would take you directly to the restaurant guide and you could have a look. We are going to be going over the restaurant guide on Friday night, but you can kind of have a peek. So I'm not going to read those out to you tonight. We're going to be doing that Friday night, but I'm going to go to the food library. And over here, I'm going to look on the right-hand side. If y'all follow along with me, on the right-hand side, do you see right there where it says phase 1 cereal, phase 2 cereal, phase 2 frozen meals, and phase 2 soup? So I just wanted to point those out. This does not mean you're going to a higher quality of food. Okay, let's click on phase 1 cereal. Phase 1 cereal is better for weight loss. Okay, now I'm going to find the ones that are even the best. I'm going to go to all the negative numbers and hit that, and it's going to filter out the ones that are zeros. Okay, so if you're looking for a cereal, these would be your best cereals to have, and I really like this one right here, the Cinnamon Crisp cereal. Most cereals you should not eat dry. You should not eat cereal dry. Even an approved cereal is starchy and it needs to have no fat in the milk, and you need to have protein to offset that starchiness. Okay, now with that being said, there's a couple of these cereals in here that work dry, so you can't eat them dry. So for example, this Advanced Health System cereal, which we sell in our store, by the way, and I have a couple of boxes of this in my pantry. So this is actually a superfood. You could eat this as a snack, It's a perfect pairing item and it's a phase 1 cereal. And then over here on the right-hand side, it says see description for details. If you want to get it in our store, you find it right there. I like it because it's already portion controlled. Okay, so we come down here and it says it is preferred that you combine this with Egg Whites International. I know you might think that sounds gross, but a lot of people do that and they really can't tell that much of a difference. Kroger Carb Master or fat-free Fairlife milk. But you may have it or use it with a quarter cup of any approved milk with phase 1 cereals. And this particular one can be eaten dry. Okay. And you can have 1 to 2 packages with or without milk as a -3 weight loss meter meal, or 1 package as a +1 weight loss meter snack alone or with the milk. Okay, so more than likely, I'm going to eat this as a meal. Let me tell you when I would eat this as a snack. If I'm riding down the road, you know how when you're riding down the road, you go on a trip and you want something just to kind of put your finger in the bag and eat, I would take this because it takes a while to eat it. You can't eat it by itself and it works. Okay, Sandy, I cover the weight loss meter tomorrow night. I cover that tomorrow night when we go over the food library. But let me just kind of tell y'all what the weight loss meter is. The weight loss meter is another way to categorize foods. So you know how we categorize foods based on category 1 through 7? But after you know that information, within those categories, some foods are better for weight loss than others. And we'll go over that in just a second. But let me go to phase 2 cereals. I want you to see something. Always look up a food in the food library. Let this food library be your encyclopedia. Read it before you eat it. So we're bringing up some phase 2 cereals. And you got Captain Crunch. Let's do Captain Crunch's Crunch Berries. Now look, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter, meaning it's not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Do you see right here's how it says perfect pairing? And remember what I said earlier, perfect pairing is not a proper combination, but if you do it exactly the way that it said in the descriptions, then it would work. This is also called a phase 2 cereal, which means, like I said earlier, not necessarily better for you, it just will work. All right, so we got this, and look right here. Must be eaten with half to 1 cup of Egg Whites International, Kroger Carb Master, or fat-free Fairlife. Do not eat dry. You can improve the nutrition of this meal by adding a tablespoon of hemp flakes. Okay, so the unsweetened almond milk, we're going to go right here, and we're going to look up almond milk. Okay, unsweetened almond milk is a category 4 protein plus fat. Okay, so it's a category 4 protein plus fat. It can be used as a condiment and it can be used as a perfect pairing meal. So if you drink unsweetened almond milk and you want to have it with a cereal, it must be with a phase 1 cereal only. You would not choose to have unsweetened almond milk with a phase 2 cereal. So that's simply how you make that, because remember, this is a protein plus fat. Phase 2 cereal, and really cereal in general, but especially the phase 2 cereal, is starchy. You don't want it to collect the fat, and you want the other high protein milks to offset it. That's why you choose to use one of those other milks I talked about. But if you eat this, you can have it with the phase 1 cereal only, okay? And then let's look up fat-free half and half. I don't think it's approved. Okay, I was wrong. So I don't use it. Fat-free half and half. It's a condiment. Okay. Now listen. Let's see. Sue. It's a condiment. So look, they've really got it in some of these recipes. Are you wanting to use this in coffee or in a recipe? Because it works in recipes. Kelly, I don't know the answer. I'm possibly going to say no to that, but do me a favor. Put the recipe and what you do in the group. Are you a Facebook user? If you're a Facebook user, put it in the group called Shibboleth Fixed It. And Kim Shibboleth, which is not me, will have a look and let you know. But if it's not, just know, Kelly, you could always have that on up to 6 days on a holiday. So, y'all, there's nothing that's taken away from you. You can have up to 6 days on a holiday. Let's see. Sue, in coffee. Lots of great info. I'm going to have to watch this session again. Yeah, awesome, Sue. Y'all spend this whole week with me. We are going to be like going over so much every night at 7:30. You're going to learn more and more every single night. But Sue, if you're using it in coffee, what I would suggest that you do is come right down here and look at these choice of creamers here. And then you could also consider using a little bit of a ready to drink protein shake as your creamer. You get a little bit of extra protein and a flavor. You just don't want to use more than 30 calories of that. A lot of people will also take a health-wise high protein hot chocolate and split it up and use a tablespoon out of a packet and put that in their coffee and mix it up, and they'll give them a little extra protein too. If you're using a full packet of that, let's say that you're making 4 cups of coffee in a day and you use the whole packet, that would count as your extra for the day. Okay. And then let me see, I was going to look up the oat milk. Let's see, oat milk. Okay, so oat milk wasn't in there. Let me just look up oat. Probably going to be a bunch with the word oat in it. All right, lots of oat words here, but I just want to kind of make sure I didn't. Okay, here's a Nut Pods oat creamer original. Let's click on it and see what it says. So so if you use up to 15 calories of this, Nicole, you could use that. Yeah, try typing oat and see what all you pull up on that. And then the other things, y'all, just click here where it says creamer, 15 calorie or less creamers. My computer is taking a second getting to the, okay, let's see. So all kinds of creamers listed here. There's the Nut Pods oat creamer. But as for oat milk itself, what I would do is take a picture of the front of the item and the back of the item and post it in the Shibboleth Fixed It Facebook group, Nicole, and then see what Kim Shibboleth says about it. Awesome. Okay, so fast track. Fast track is so very important. We click dashboard at the top of the screen. If your page shows up to this page, you click fast track. If you're brand new, it should be coming up to fast track right away, okay? And then I really want y'all to work through lap 1 and lap 2 right away. Lap 3, we're going over this tomorrow night. We're going over lap 4 on Wednesday, lap 5 on Thursday, lap 6 on Friday, and lap 7 on Saturday. You can go ahead and do these laps, but if you miss any of the laps in the videos, come to lap 2, and right there it says watch the daily fast track webinars. That's what I'm doing every single night. This was created as a way for you to methodically go through each task. So this video here is a tutorial for each video. I mean each lap. And when you hover your mouse over the task, a black box pops up. Now you'll notice this little black box is different for every task. That black box is like you and I are talking right now. Why is Kim having me do this? And Is there any special instructions I need to do? So read the black box first, then click the link, do what the link says. After you've done it, you check the box, and you simply want to get all your boxes checked by the end of the week. Awesome, Diane. Good. Diane says that she learns something new every single time, and I'm so glad to hear that. That's fabulous. If you're not a Facebook user, please just go ahead and check these little Facebook group boxes. Go ahead and check them like you are a Facebook user, because you want to have all your boxes checked by the end of the week, okay? All right. Well, if you would like to go over and watch Julie Marandino doing the How I Overcame Food Addiction and Lost Weight webinar, she should be on. Let me see if it told me if, yep, she's on. If you want to do that, go to the pink online webinars tab and get registered. If you are finding, you're welcome. Let's see. Sheila, this has been so informative. The last nights have been the best fast track. Awesome. I think they are too. I think they're the info nights, Sheila. And then the next nights are all the techie stuff, like learning about all your tools and resources. So thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Nicole. Sandy, it's very helpful to have all these as we start the program. Awesome. So glad you're here. You're welcome, Carla. You're welcome, Sue. You're welcome, Kelly. It's awesome. So y'all join me back tomorrow night. Go ahead and watch Julie over there. If you are finding this on Facebook and you do not know what you've been watching, you have been watching the introduction to the Shibboleth lifestyle. My name is Kim Danke. I am the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and you can currently get a lifetime membership. You're welcome, Nancy, for $69 for life, and never have to buy anything from us ever again. Okay, we don't sell, we're not like your little friend from these other companies that are going to be calling you and saying you want to spend your $300 to $500 on food this month. Nope, we don't do that. We teach you how to buy it from the grocery store. So if you want to get your membership, go to shibbolethdeals.com and get your $69 membership. If someone told you about Shibboleth, please write in their first and last name where it says, how did you hear about Shibboleth? Y'all have a great night. Let's see, Angelia, I'm a Facebook watcher, but not a part of the group. So can I get in? Oh, yes. If you go to Fast Track, click on those, and then it'll take you to the groups and you ask to join. Also, I'll be here tomorrow night, but the rest of the week I have meetings. Okay, and Angelia, they will all be right there in that link for you to be able to go back and watch after your meetings. Awesome. We know that people are busy, and so we record everything and put it in the website for y'all to watch it at your convenience. Okay, bye everybody.